Oi, 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 what up, what up, what up, what up, Chancho? Chancho. Chanchito!
What you screaming for, fucker?
Come on, bro, we got the next video up, bro. I can't have you be slouching on me now, cuz. Come on, get your ass up.
I was having my beauty sleep, fucker.
What is up, my people? Thank you for tuning in to my next album review on my channel, The Seem the Dream. Today, I will be reviewing the one and only Tyler, the Creator's Call Me If You Get Lost.
The fuck is stuff?
California rapper, producer, songwriter Tyler, the Creator is back with his 6th studio album, Call Me If You Get Lost. This is the follow-up album to the biggest commercial success from Tyler, the Creator, Igor, where we see Tyler branch off to new sound selection with more synthesizer inclusion along with low mix vocals. After Igor's uproar resulting at debuting at #1 on Billboard's Top 200, along with the track Earthquake debuting at #1 on Billboard's Top Hot 100, Igor has finally succeeded at what Tyler's wanted his whole music career and achieving Rap Album of the Year in the 2020 Grammys. Another significant turn to his craft is album Flower Boy back in 2017, where we really start to see Tyler mature and flourish into the hip-hop world and also incorporate new sounds with R&B and neo-soul. Most Tyler fans remember him most for his early days with records such as Goblin, Wolf, and Odd Future mixtapes, which originally incorporated influences from horrorcore hip-hop. Coming off of Igor, knowing how important this change has molded his skill overall, and has shown that this is a man that's not afraid to make decisions for himself and what he really wants to make in his music. And of course, the result of that, I want to stay true to your music, has one resulted in Flower Boy reaching a nomination for Rap Album of the Year in the Grammys, and now with Igor winning the 2020 Rap Album of the Year. So in short, the hype behind Tyler, the Creator has definitely caught praise, and has indeed held high hopes for any upcoming projects of his, and indeed what I was looking forward to for this album. For the opener, we have the track Sir Baudelaire. Though I'm not crazy for this beat, I think bringing drama into this track was necessary for what Tyler was going for. It definitely gives that nostalgic feel to how we used to hear so many hip-hop tracks open back from the early 2000s era, and how it's influenced hip-hop in today's era. Given why I think bringing DJ drama onto nearly the entire album has definitely brought nostalgia to most of listeners, especially if they've been involved in the hip-hop community. The track has moments that do shine, but I wouldn't say I'm fully invested into the record yet. But I love how the next track, CORSO, really gets in your face. It's definitely clear that what Tyler's going for this new record is that he's trying to kind of go for that 2000s mixtape vibe that, I don't know, that you probably download from like Dat Piff or Digital Drift. The incorporation of electronics also adds a lot of chemistry to the trap instrumentals, and I also think the track placement for CORSO definitely sets in a good pace. The next song, Lemonhead, has a booming bass that you feel right in your upper lip right there. Indeed, the track brings the noise, but the vocals on the first verse feel a little blurry when on cue with the sub bass. Also, 42 Dugg actually sounds pretty pleasant on this track. I actually really liked his verse. I like how towards the end of the track the outro switches around instrumentals along with clever wordplay. It's a different approach to bring out the listener, and I think it works well. What's Your Name wears a soulful hip-hop inspired attire that gives me the classic late 90s, early 2000s feel that I believe suits Tyler well. Though at this point in Tyler's career, it's clear that he's not afraid to play around with his creativity. Now, seeing NBA Young Boy featured on this track kind of gave me low expectations, but surprisingly upholds excellent chemistry to the track. It's possibly the best NBA Young Boy feature I've ever heard. Now, it doesn't break through walls by any means, but solely due to my expectations and certainly exceeded them. Props to NBA Young Boy on this. But better yet, I think I gotta acknowledge Tyler for how well he's pulled the best out of the artists who work with him. The Ty Dolla feature is also the cherry on top. Now for the next track, Lumberjack, let me put it to you like this. It's a golf wang banger. It's paced, but as the beat hits, the whiplash effect is felt. DJ Drama's hype man calls are definitely necessary for this track. It almost reminds me of BET Cypher freestyle. For the next song, Hot Wind Blows, I think the flute playing gives beautiful contrast to the best of both worlds of the instrumental with the no-holds-barred rap. I thought Wayne would give me a big boost of hype for this track, but it's not exactly as exciting as I thought it'd be. Compared to face value, at this point, knowing what the album is going for, you think that this is definitely the perfect guy to have on here. But I think for this beat in particular, it just doesn't work. It almost kind of threw me off, but luckily I think Tyler works around these vocals well, and it makes it manageable. Now the next song, MASSA, has a clean switch up. Those ritualistic flute passages gave a clean transposition nonetheless. What I really appreciate from this track though is him demonstrating his growth and talking about points in life going through depression, and also stating the reason why Cherry Bomb didn't pop off is because he didn't really mature as an artist yet. He didn't mature until Flower Boy came out. In the song Running Up, on top of how alpha Tyler is on this album, we get on an intro from him basically mentioning all the people around him in the past, alienating him by his own people, assuming he meant either the people in his neighborhood that he grew up with. The man basically delivers the biggest fuck you to anybody who ever thought he wasn't shit. Saying these people peaked around high school, while Tyler stating that he wasn't even in his final form yet. He didn't give a fuck who's seen, what he was doing, and what the fuck people even thought about him. I think this is just the mentality of a true champion, and that's what Tyler is. A champion. And I'm sure he means that he was always confident, but I'm definitely sure after achieving Rap Album of the Year, that was confirmation that he really is the shit. That his skill and creativity will only continue to rise and grow as long as he believes it will. Now continuing into the track, there's a combination of piano playing along with delightful horn sections. Now the "We Gon' Run It Up" chants sound pretty catchy on this bass booming beat, while horn sections still trickling in with just the right amount of presence. And the Teezo Touchdown feature is a not surprise. It works wonderfully. The song Manifesto tackles the BS Tyler receives on not being this type of role model people expect him to be, which in reality no one really has to be. I mean, it's clear he really cares about real life situations, but to be demanded to speak on it is a bit gratuitous. He's just not really audible about it. If I were to describe the sound, it kind of sounds like that high-pitched sound you make from a wine glass, with a bit of a horror twist, but also adds a bright atmosphere. It's an interesting one to wrap your head around, and I also think that Tyler and Domo Genesis perform well. The next song, Sweet, I Thought You Wanted to Dance, is a two-parter track not only with the influences with 90s, early 2000s pieces of R&B and hip-hop. There's also some 80s retro pop that's incorporated that I think is really dope. Not only is the vibe super groovy, but the new today vocal presence with Brent Faiyaz is oh so beautiful. Then we transition to the next other half, with that turns into this tropical reggae vibe with Tyler singing along with Fana Hues. Overall, the singing on this two-parter is magnificent. Now the following is an intro recording of Tyler's mom, which is basically her ranting on how much she do for her children, and I think purposely showing where Tyler gets his personality from. Then on the end tail, Tyler's mom speaking and goes straight into Rise. I really like the hi-hat tweaks on the song Rise. It sounds pretty sick. And I also like how the reverb makes it all sound so metallic. It has a good swing, but also I think I need to acknowledge Daisy World on this song. That's a singer you need to keep an eye out for. That's a stud. There's so much contrast with her melody leads and background vocals. Seriously, it sounds amazing. There's the next track that's also another interlude called Blessed, which stamps another pause into the record with Tyler listing out his success. It's also hilarious hearing how great life's going for Tyler, and then him saying the only downside is his hair growth. The song Juggernaut is one of the dirtiest drops on the project. The track has verses going from Tyler to Pharrell Williams to Lil Vert that I think the flows go so dummy, so stupid on this one. The feel of like how they kind of just toss the mic to each other and kind of just go stupid on each one is just like WILSHIRE keeps the narrative switching, not only where Tyler talks about the come up, his success, being on top, all the way to not only where he's at in life, but his love life also. Specifically, Tyler being involved with the girl that already has a man, but he just doesn't really care and still really likes the girl and wants to be involved. Tyler recollects on eventually how he had to go through this heartbreak when it all got caught up and they had to just go back to being friends. It's great to really follow along with Tyler in his writing, to not only where he can really talk about his craft, how goofy he is. It's nice to see the humanity involved with his writing. The track kind of drags along a little bit too long, but you know what? I think it was kind of interesting for him to switch it up to involve more human characteristics such as love. This track does seems like kind of like an odd narrative transition, as nearly the whole record is kind of just him on like, y'all thought I wasn't the shit, now I'm the shit. What you gotta do about it? Nothing. Now, I kind of see the closer track Safari as a victory lap to Tyler's achieved success. It gives off a dramatic exit with rise and sway horn sections that are jazzy, but this new Tyler album is a punctuation to his hard-earned achievements. While I think Call Me If You Get Lost wasn't the one up to Igor, although I think that wasn't intended, it's certainly still a great album. There's still so much growth from Tyler at this point in his career, yet the way he's still writing his music shows that he's still hardly even at his limit. So much has been demonstrated overall with his skills on his writing, producing, performance, that it's just hard to match. Rightly so. I mean, he carries the bulk of the credit for his music. He doesn't let anybody take control. For that alone, I think it's mandatory to acknowledge that Tyler is one of the best artists out right now. Skillfully, he's an alpha in hip-hop. No argument there. And for all that said, I'm gonna give Call Me If You Get Lost and 86%. Let me know what you guys thought of this album right in the comment section below. Down in the description is all the links to my social media accounts so you can keep up with me on the daily. And also, one more thing I got to mention for my channel. In case you didn't see it already, in the description for every album review I do, I have a tracklist rating separately. Next to each track in the description is an emoji signifying how I felt about the track. The fire emoji indicates that I thought the song was flawless. The green emoji indicates that I thought the song was good or great. The yellow emoji indicates that I thought the song was kind of a little bit mid. The red emoji indicates that it was just a bad track. And this emoji, I mean, come on. As always, guys, I appreciate the love and support. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope to see you next time.